I was at the first AES LAC convention in La Paz, Bolivia, and guess what they announced where the next LAC will be?
The place will be...
Now, I went to La Paz, Bolivia to attend the first AES Latin American convention. I had a lot of expectations since apart from seeing the talks, I was also going to be a speaker. After almost 4 hours, I finally arrived in La Paz. I am here at the Real Plaza Hotel in La Paz, Bolivia, where the first AES Latin American convention will be held. The event had 3 main spaces: Auditorium A, which by the way had a spectacular view of La Paz, Auditorium B, located on the 2nd floor, and the Genelec room, which was simply spectacular. In addition to the commercial area where the latest innovations in the audio industry were shown. On Tuesday, September, the inauguration began. A ritual was performed, which was a chaya. Basically, it is the blessing of the Pachamama to multiply the love and the economy that provided each booth so that we do very well, all of us who are in the event.
Many years ago, still during Cesar Lamschtein's previous tenure as regional vice president, we have been working hard to make sure that at some point our conferences become a convention, just like the one that is done in Europe or the one that is done in the United States every year. And thanks to Cesar's tenacity during his tenure, and well, following in his footsteps when it was my turn to replace him, we are finally here. Here we are. Work done.
I come from a very small country that is like a neighborhood of this city. My entire country is 3 million people. My neighborhood is small, you understand? I need a bigger neighborhood. I need more friends. I need friends from Chile, from the United States. I need friends from Peru, from Ecuador. And an AES can give that. It allows us to expand borders. Expand borders in every sense. In the markets, in customers, all audio people can have the opportunity to have something bigger thanks to the AES.
It is the first convention. It is a historic moment, and take advantage. Take advantage of all the knowledge that we will share these 3 days. Thank you very much.
We have more than 50 guests, something that has never been seen in the country. This is a historic event not only for Bolivia, but for Latin America. It is the first convention that is being held at the continent level.
After so many successful Latin American conferences, 15 of them, I am so happy that this event has grown so much and become so successful that it is no longer the Latin American Conference, which were wonderful and which led us to the point where we are today. But it is now the Latin American Convention, and you all deserve congratulations for that. The Audio Engineering Society has had 2 conventions every year for many, many years now. One in the US, one in Europe. Now, for the first time in 2024, we have 3 conventions, thanks to the strength of the Latin American region.
We started with day 1. The first talk was by Gary Gottlieb, who presented his lecture, How Does It Sound Now? A lecture that left us thinking about the evolution of sound.
So basically it covers the evolution of audio from as far back as people who were recording in the 40s right up to the present day. And really, it's a tribute to our mentors. My main advice is to find a mentor, whether you're in a school program or not. Find somebody in a professional setting, get work, get experience in the business. And by watching somebody who's a pro and watching how they deal with their clients, you will learn how to deal with artists and producers and record companies, and you will be able to be a more effective engineer.
He was followed by Gabriel Ortega with Theory and Principles of Directivity in Line Arrays, followed by Gustavo Constantino with his talk Quantizer in Latin Music. While in Auditorium A, Ricardo Mantini spoke about live multi-track recording based on audio networks. Simultaneously, Carlos Rodriguez spoke about immersive Atmos mixing with modern orchestral music. And Christian Becerra presented the sound of Cabaret, the musical. Then I attended the talk of Francisco Bissone from Argentina in the Genelec room where he talked about audio-visual post-production with Atmos.
Well, the talk was basically about workflows and mixing techniques and some editing issues regarding audiovisual productions using Dolby Atmos. AES is a big family, a big community, so it seems to me that sharing, meeting, and learning from audio friends is something that has enriched me a lot throughout all these years.
Carlos Fonseca, president of AES Mexico, addressed the analysis and monitoring of audio in broadcast streams.
I spoke about the different criteria and the different parameters that we have to take into account for the proper monitoring of audio levels in broadcast streams. I invite you to the audiovisual industry, film, television, video games, etc. Never in the history of mankind have been generated so many audiovisual content as those generated now. The proof is your channel, my friend. This was unthinkable before. There were no distribution channels, and I think it is fundamental that the new generations are part of this association, because that is where all the information is us, and it is where we are immersed, all the people that we have many years, many decades, working and owing ourselves to audio.
Meanwhile, Ramiro Puente and Jorge Marrou of Audio Movers showed us collaborative solutions in the professional audio industry. We could not miss the intervention of Christian Cabezas, who in Auditorium B explained about wireless microphones in Hollywood, followed by So Myung, who in Auditorium A spoke about recording in studio, live, or separate instruments. Later, Christian Palladino gave a very interesting talk on the preservation of acoustic identity in record production. While Sebastian Choque invited us to reflect with his presentation on how and where to stand in the new music ecosystem. The day closed with a concert by Norte Potosí, a group that delighted us with their incredible sound. The second day began with a presentation by Fariuska, Lira, and Jorge Carahuayo.
We talked a little bit about what was the technical rider and the recording of symphony orchestras, a little bit about the experience we have had in the local scene in Lima, and how we have solved the problems that have arisen on stage on a day-to-day basis.
Sometimes when riders bring us riders a little more complex or less complex, we identify there the essentials that a technical rider must have, and from there the complexity or suddenly riders that have more particularities or even more details.
Meanwhile, Gustavo Gonzalez spoke about the method of guided projects towards a more active and participatory learning. And in the Genelec room, Giovanni Asselta talked about Dolby Atmos in live shows and post-production. Then it was my turn and I gave a talk on how to produce a song with artificial intelligence. I used web platforms and virtual instruments like Synthesizer V from Dreamtonics to create a song from scratch with AI. Simultaneously, David Acosta talked about immersive plugins, and Magú Ramírez taught us variable directivity techniques in low frequencies. Later, Juan Tamayo explained digital connectivity of audio signals, and Jorge Azama took us on a historical tour of immersive audio.
What I feel is pride. Pride and a lot of satisfaction, because this event, as you can all imagine, has been a great effort on the part of our colleagues from AES Bolivia with the collaboration of all the other AES sections in Latin America. Many of them have come to collaborate and participate in this event, and I believe that the public, the sponsors, and all the speakers are very satisfied and very happy with the high quality of the event that we have been able to carry out.
The day also included Simon Cale's presentation on head tracking for spatial audio and Marcelo Navia's presentation on immersive plugins in the Genelec room. The commercial area was amazing. It was full of equipment, brands, people who were willing to solve every doubt.
Well, I tell you that we are here in the commercial area. Let's go see what our friends from Antelope Audio have to say.
We are here at the big LAC Convention 2024 with Mac Audio, and we are very happy to be here. It's very important for us, Antelope Audio, to be at this big convention. We can show the new generation our technology, our equipment, our releases, so that they become familiar with them and understand that Antelope Audio has high-end for them and that they can easily access from here, from Latin America.
Participating in the AES LAC or any AES event is always super important for us because it is a commitment to education. It's only show us the equipment, bring people who know how to use them, have experience and transmit that experience to children or users. In general, it is really wonderful.
At this big convention, we are showing our release of the year of the Zen Quadro, our new entry-level interface from Antelope Audio. Basically, this unit, this portable device, is especially for those who want to get into the audio world, and it's for every professional who wants to take the studio everywhere. It's for all kinds of creators.
After this, I attended Joel Hamilton's talk, who came all the way from New York with his talk, The Aesthetic Compass, Finding the Best in Music Production.
I really wanted to bring a different perspective to AES, mostly to give students and young engineers and producers a way to think about production, to be able to understand the decisions that we make about songs and how to present the songs as a recording. For me, AES works like a neighborhood, when we all work individually in separate studios all over the world. So students signing up for AES, it's a great place to connect with professionals. It's a great place to even just connect with each other and learn more about your craft.
And I couldn't miss the presentation of our great friend Miguel Domínguez, where he talked to us about the implementation of immersive monitoring.
You have to consider that from a professional point of view, not to assume that audio can be immersive. At this moment, it would be like being in the 60s and assuming that your audio has to be mono and not stereo. So that's not to say that mono or stereo ceases to exist. But I think we're at a historical point, also a turning point, equivalent to the transition from mono to stereo.
I also met Luca from the AES Colombia Committee. He gave us his perspective of this whole event.
The event has been very good so far, and it seems to me that there is something for everyone, and that's the most important thing. We know that the world of audio embraces a lot of different disciplines, and here I saw them basically all represented. Audio students should be at AES, all of them, whether it's to look for the paper they need for their thesis, or the contact that will be useful for their whole lives, or simply to learn about new technologies.
Then I went to the talk of our great friend Cesar Lamschtein with the title Understanding the Sidechain in Processors.
AES has contributed a lot in my career. I could not currently conceive my professional, passional, and audio career without the society. It played a very important role, being able to learn, to chat, to share, to listen, and to be listened by people you admire. People who are just like you, people who can make yourself a better professional, people to whom you can help. That is what for me is summarized in those 3 letters.
After that, I went up to the 15th floor to see Bernarda Ubidia's presentation entitled Folly Designing the Sound from the Recording.
Hello everyone, I want to invite you to join the AES. The AES is a wonderful space to share where you will find people who, like you, like audio for film, audio for live sound, audio in all its different expressions. It is a place where you meet friends for life. You learn a lot.
Already in the corridors, I met with Alvaro Panozo and Luis Soria. They told me a little more about how this great event was going.
I think this event speaks for itself. Being an AES member means being active. It means having more friends, not only in your neighborhood, in your city, but worldwide. It is a network of being able to continue working together, to be able to continue learning together, and to continue to grow as a society, as professionals in this wonderful industry that is the music industry, the entertainment industry.
If you are fans of audio and music, this is the place to be. I think that thanks to the AES, many of us grow, for the network of contacts. With Julio, we have made a great friendship. He in Colombia, I in Bolivia. The same with all the people from different countries. The Bolivians themselves know each other in this place.
The last day, day 3, I attended Miguel Domínguez's talk on sound reflections from feedback to success, followed by Raul Bustos, who talked about auditory training in Atmos. Then I participated in a panel in the Genelec room with Daniel Pasquel, Francisco Bissone, and Raul Bustos, led by Miguel Domínguez, where we discussed the present and future of immersive audio. Subsequently, Jorge García presented Blast, Bogotá, Los Andes Sound Theater.
I have a long relationship with Genelec. It is a young generation with AES, and I find it wonderful that the musical composition and engineering and everything that involves us in technology is basically a handshake between disciplines that were previously considered as relatively apart.
Ian Corbett gave us an interesting talk entitled Mix It and Make It Interesting. I was also giving a talk in the commercial area about the new Synergy Core plugins that Antelope Audio has that are spectacular. After that, I went to the Genelec room to see the talk of Daniel Pasquel, who talked about Atmos and Ambisonics immersive music.
And also incredible that Genelec has been able to put some people here and more than anything to the system to create the experience, to be able to have the immersive sensation. Many people for the first time, especially that in Ecuador, in Colombia surely also happened, and surely here in Bolivia too, which is one of the first systems, 7.1.4 already sounding. Congratulations, brother. Thank you, brother. Thank you, thank you.
Afterwards, German Duran talked about Dolby Atmos mixing in binaural format. And Alejandro Peralta gave us an introduction to the Dante platform in Auditorium A. At the same time, Ivo Markovic was in the Genelec room talking about music mixing in Dolby Atmos. Finally, we closed with a talk of Ezequiel Morfi with his presentation, Introduction to Mastering Myth Busting.
How do you become a member of AES? It is very simple. By approaching these things that are happening, either here in Bolivia or in your country or at a distance. We have the enormous fortune in Latin America after many years and the effort of many people to have a student section in practically every country in Latin America. And then there is answer B, to become a member through the web page. To belong, I am a member, and that was also very good in my career.
And to put the finishing touch to the event, the group Ayra Bolivia delighted us with their music before the closing ceremony.
And I want to thank also, most importantly, everyone here, because these events are great. We work so hard to put these events together, but it's because you all show up that it becomes a great event. So, muchas gracias a todos.
Where the venue for next year's LAC was announced.
First of all, congratulations to our Bolivian colleagues who proudly hosted the first Latin American audio convention in the history of AES. That is a milestone, so congratulations, congratulations. Secondly, it is my turn to announce the venue of the next convention, the second convention, and the venue is on behalf of all the people who represent the audio and entertainment industry in Mexico, I make the most cordial invitation for these dates, more or less within a year. Join us in the second Latin American Audio Convention. We have been working hard, all industry sectors, so we hope to receive everyone, to receive those who could not come, and that new students also go there. We are already working, and from tomorrow we will begin to make the calls. The venue will be the Churubusco Studios, which is an iconic place for Mexican and Latin American cinema. We will have a lot of things there, many manufacturers, many Mexican suppliers, and of course the presence of our president, our vice president, our section president, and all our colleagues from the different sections. So we will see you there.
This was an incredible event. I learned a lot, met new friends, met old friends, and also enjoyed the wonderful city of La Paz. I also want to thank Alvaro Panozo, Luis Soria, and all their great team for organizing this incredible event.
Julio, a big hug to Delta Records team too, really. Thank you very much for being present in La Paz, Bolivia, and we hope to see you soon as well.
And if you think this video could be useful for a friend who would like to attend an AES event, don't hesitate to share it, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications. See you in the next LAC. Take care. Bye.